So, some very annoying audio, video things I'm not even going to get into because they're quite boring and you probably don't want to listen to them. But this will be the first actual episode of Steven Talks to the Void because, honestly, not many people are going to watch this at all. But anyway, let's get right into it for what happened today. So, in the Philippines, KFC are giving people this hot dog that is covered in cheese, and instead of bread, they're using a chicken breast, which is quite disgusting. Thankfully, it is not coming to America, despite probably being received by intense commercial success if it did. Other than that, there's an X-Men live-action TV series that might air on Fox. However, I doubt that because they need Marvel's approval before they can do it. And of course, Marvel already has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Peggy Carter, which I've heard very good things about. So why would they give permission for this other company to make money off of this property when they could make it themselves and make a bunch of money off of it? Doesn't really make that much sense unless, of course, Fox gives them a big cut of it or something. I don't know. Legal speak, stuff like that. I'm sure it'll be handled in the background and we'll never know what really happened. But I doubt there'll be an X-Men series, especially a live-action one. It sounds very strange for them to do an X-Men live-action series. Witcher 3 is against paid DLC. Now, this was already talked about back in November. There was already the story about how there was about 16 DLC little tidbits of Witcher 3 story and expanded lore and stuff that were going to be free for everyone. They basically had this open letter where they talked about how they're against paid DLC, and there's a lot of weird stuff. I wrote something on Current Digital Magazine about Evolve and how it's kind of gross the way that they've been promoting all this downloadable content and all this preloading and pre-ordering and prepaying all this stuff for content that's going to come out at a later date, and you don't even know if it's good content yet either, and that's like the main problem, is that they're asking you for this money now for stuff that will come eventually, and you don't even know if it's that good anyway. Evolve is a few weeks from launch and nobody has review copies. It's just the open beta, which again isn't even a beta, it's a demo. But anyway, The Witcher 3 has 16 pieces of free DLC for you to download. That's great. Cool. I'm really looking for The Witcher 3. Speaking of The Witcher 3, people have had hands-on with it recently. Played about 3 hours, I believe it was, that they were given. And it looks really good. Hopefully it, plays well as well, because there has been a lot of times where games preview well and then they end up coming out and not doing well at all. So I really hope that The Witcher 3 does well, because I'm actually looking forward to it. I've kind of been caught in the, pre-launch hype, as it would be called, and I really hope that it delivers on that. Dying Light has finally been made available to people for early access downloads and stuff, so they can live stream it and start reviewing it, actually. So there's been a bunch of, reviewing sessions and live streams of it that I watched Greg Miller do his live stream of it. It looks a lot like Dead Island, except first-person view, and that's about it. So not that exciting. Dragon Age Inquisition, the tavern music, is free to download until February 9th, so if you're really into that, you can get that for free. I don't know if it's the actual thing or actually the sheet music. I remember them saying that the sheet music was available so people could play it instead. Call of Duty Zombies is back. Now, the dogs appear to be more of the Resident Evil with the whole mouth flapping in 3 different directions, which is weird, instead of the classic Hellhounds for World at War, which I loved. They also don't have the original cast from World at War, which is another strange thing, because everyone loves the, Dr. Edward Richtofen, played by Nolan North. Everyone loves him, but for some reason they decided to do this new cast again. Whatever. Beetlejuice 2 could start filming at the end of this year. Now, this is really cool, mostly because the screenwriter is Seth Graham Smith, and I don't really know what he's done, but he has talked a lot about Beetlejuice 2, including that Winona Ryder, who played Lydia in the first one, is back to basically reprise her role. It's going to be not a reboot, but a direct sequel, except set in modern times, so obviously she will have aged, and that's the explanation for why she's now an adult, which she is in real life. Kind of thought that Kristen Ritter would actually do a really good job of being an adult Lydia. She really has that look and kind of tone overall down in a lot of the characters that she plays, such as Jane from Breaking Bad, and that other woman who was the main Amy Adams friend in Big Eyes. But other than that, they said that Michael Keaton is excited about the idea. He's not exactly on board, but he's excited about it, I guess. I don't know what that means. He really needs to be on it, because if Michael Keaton isn't reprising his role as Beetlejuice, probably not going to be that great. Microsoft talked about their net income and a bunch of other terms and numbers and stuff for this past financial quarter or year. I think it was a quarter. Their net income was $5.86 billion instead of last year's $6.55 billion. Still a lot of money, so I think they'll be okay. The Last of Us movie is apparently pretty faithful to the game. Now, the game is, of course, super long. You can't exactly adapt that into a film that is about 2 hours, hopefully, at max. However, it is being written by Neil Druckmann, who wrote the game itself, so I'm pretty sure it'll be a really good adaptation. He didn't talk anything about casting, but he has talked about meeting with people who might portray the characters. So that's cool. It's making progress. Do we need a Last of Us movie? Probably not. Do we need an Uncharted movie? Probably no, not even. Limited edition PlayStation 4 was sold for $128,000. Now, these was originally sold for the main asking price of $400 for a regular PS4. However, there was only about 12,000 of them made, basically to reflect the release date of the original PlayStation. But this one sold for an enormous amount of money, and that is crazy. I wish that I had gotten my hands on it so I could sell it back and make a profit of $100,000. That is insane. The David Tennant will be the Purple Man, character I've never heard of, but apparently he's a Marvel villain. His apparent power is he can make people do something by just saying it. So he kind of just says something and they do it. Kind of like Ella Enchanted, except instead of it being just that character, it's basically anyone he talks to. It's a little bit powerful. I don't exactly know how the heroes are going to stop him by doing that, but I don't know. He's going to be in Jessica Jones as well as Daredevil. The Jessica Jones thing is cool because Kristen Ritter is actually in that, and she's a great actress. I love her. So should be a cool series to see, as well as David Tennant. He's an amazing actor. He's great as Doctor Who, and then he's also been in a bunch of other stuff that he's always done well in. Other than that, been listening to Nothing Better from the Postal Service. It's a great song, very bittersweet almost. It's basically about a breakup and stuff. And it also is about how you can kind of delve into self-pity after that and kind of interpret the truth in such a way that it's no longer the truth. It's basically you seeing things a certain way, and that's not actually what happened. It's a really good song. I like the lyrics too. I looked them up, and because I didn't exactly know what all the lyrics were, but it's a really good song. I'm also speaking kind of from personal experience about going through that and kind of being like, oh, woe is me, and it's actually no, that's what you're thinking about did not happen. Other than that, Sony has renewed and filed a new trademark for the Resistance series. This is only in the UK. It hasn't been renewed in the US yet. Now, they don't know if it's a renewal or a new trademark, but it probably is mostly just Sony saying, well, hey, we have the Resistance series. We haven't done anything with it since 2012's Burning Skies, which was not good. So basically, they're probably just holding on to this franchise for some later future release. Who even knows when they'll revive that. Other than that, there's a weird thing going on where I have to re-download Grim Fandango. Now, originally I was already downloading this, if you watched yesterday's video. I was downloading it so I could play it immediately once, it went live today at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the game releases. However, when I was watching the countdown timer, it said there was 1 day left, despite it being Monday, the day before release, which meant that instead of getting to play it in 10 minutes when I was looking at it, I was actually only going to be able to play it 24 hours later, which is kind of screwed up because that's not how it's supposed to work. So Sony addressed this issue, but the way they addressed this issue is they said, so, many of you who have pre-ordered Grim Fandango may have had already preloaded the game. You may need to re-download it. However, that's not the only thing. Number 1, return to the PS4 store and purchase the free version of the game. This SKU will only be visible to pre-order users at around 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when you're supposed to be playing it. Purchase the SKU only. Do not re-download it at this point. Restore your PS4 licenses. Go to Settings, PSN, Restore License. If this doesn't solve the issue, continue to Step 3. Go to the library, highlight Grim Fandango, and press Options. Delete game content. While still in the library, highlight Grim Fandango and press X to re-download the content. Restore licenses again. So I've gone through all these steps. I'm now at Step 5, where it is re-downloading it. And it is at 1.18 gigabytes, about 101 minutes left. So instead of playing it an hour ago, because I'm filming this at 10 p.m., I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow morning, because I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to wait for this. So kind of unfortunate. Sony really is not doing well when it comes to online stuff. Their online infrastructure, of course, has infamously been terrible, especially since the 2011 Sony hack, where it was down for almost an entire month. So, yeah, I'm kind of annoyed. I love Sony, I love PlayStation and all that stuff, but really, get it together. Seriously, this is a very annoying fix for a very annoying problem. I've been looking forward to Grim Fandango, and it's a first world problem. Nobody cares really, but it's still it's an annoying thing where it's like this shouldn't be happening. It should not be happening. Sony should know how to fix these things and know to fix it earlier than 10 minutes before the game is supposed to go live. But yeah, that's it. So you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow everything Illustrious Magic does at illustriousmagic.com, and you can see our podcast that'll go up later today. I'm publishing a video right now that is me and Trevor playing this utterly terrible game that we're probably going to play the entirety of it because it is so bad. So you can watch that. Other than that, yeah, you can follow Trevor on Twitter at Trev_Tom. Tomorrow I will be going to the court to get a ticket paid and hopefully play and record a bunch of Grim Fandango. So thank you for watching.